Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Worst BPD breakup stories uncoupling journey. Let's hear your worst BPD breakup stories. Sometimes it helps me to know I'm not the only one living a literary nightmare scenario. I'll start with mine. My stbxw of 9 years attempted suicide, blamed me, then left me to join a polymarried couple who were mutual friends of ours she told me not to worry about. She admitted to multiple lies including emotional affair with them and gaslighting for years while we were together. Now my son has basically no mother and she's been spiteful in every way possible post-separation, making out with her new partners in front of me during visitation exchange etc. I worked so hard to provide a healthy family environment for our son, but she's thrown that all away and now I dread the day he learns what his mother has done. I'm now a single father providing 100% financially for him because she's a deadbeat, and at the same time I've watched the woman I loved most become my worst enemy, an absolute monster. BPD is a bitch, but she's a special kind of evil. Oh boy. Not a big fan of the phrase, but this thread could literally break the internet. Not sure if PP are up for spilling their guts more than once though. I know I'm not. But yeah, not any kind of fun. That sounds awful. This sub reinforced that I made the right decision and got out early. Our relationship had almost perfect symmetry. We started online talking about waterfalls. We met. Amazing. Got close quickly. She said she loved me within a month. Wanted to live together. The second month continued the climb. Absolutely perfect, abs more comfortable with each other. I thought I would marry her if things kept this way for a few years. I was happy. Really happy. Lots of love, and we had basically stayed together for 2 months. Beginning of month 3 she got stressed from work and a get together right before her trip. Was mad that I didn't help enough and I should have known. Gets distant on the trip, and when we finally talk has a list of resentments she unloads on me. She comes back and we talk and it's better. For a week or so. Then a few more weird incidents and a blowout at 4 AM where I felt I should leave. Packed my shit and was out at 4:30. We talked again a few days later and it's clear she cannot manage her emotions. We had a trip planned to Oregon where we could hike waterfalls we had talked about when we first met. 3 days were great and I was happy. Day 4 I was accused of not listening. And it was a shit show for the remaining 5 days. With the final blowout with her screaming at me about being toxic, and I calmly reminded her I was being calm and kind and it was all her acting out and being toxic. I checked out and was quiet and we finished up the vacation. She held my hand a few times on the plane, and the last time was driving home. Her hand flashed hot and sweaty and she pulled it away. Panic attack. Dropped her off and said good luck. Began with waterfalls. 2 months of heaven. 2 months spiraling into hell and ended with waterfalls. I'm about 7 weeks in North Carolina and not going to lie, it's been hard. And while I'm feeling much better now, I'm not 100% pre-BPD. Since I had spent almost all of 4 months with her, the hard part is filling that alone time. That part sucks. I don't miss her but miss that feeling I had when it was good and felt like I had a purpose and was part of something great. But I know she can't do it. That she'd have psychotic episodes and was unreachable. And that her life is a constant struggle, but she wears a pretty mask to fool everyone and hide her anguish. Fooled me. For a while I'm glad I didn't try to go back and get off at the light. Does telling them to cut contact with potential AP help anything? Meta. Edit, the way I wrote this is a bit confusing, so let me clear this up. This question isn't related to my current relationship. I won't ever reconcile. I'm asking this question to better understand pre-cheating behavior using my past relationship as an example. I've read a lot of posts here that are similar to my situation. I had an intense gut feeling that my wife was cheating with her now boyfriend/girlfriend. I was right, of course. People often suggest on other posts ask her to cut all contact with the friend you're worried about. If she refuses, then you dump her. But I'm thinking, would that really help the relationship? If you have to dictate her friendships in order to keep her from cheating, isn't that just ridiculous? Is a cheater going to cheat no matter who it's with, or is it possible that someone is so charming they'd make a loyal woman cheat and you as a partner have to protect her from those charmers? Oh no, it's far too late for my relationship. She ripped that up and burned it. I'm asking in the pre-cheating stages where she was getting way too close with her friends. I'm asking if it would actually help the relationship if you ask your partner to cut contact with those friends, or if she will just end up cheating with someone else anyway. She would have figured out a way to take it underground. No, asking her to break contact won't work. The only thing that works is a divorce paper. Well, usually when you try to stop it in those stages they still cheat with that same person anyway. Not a different one. By that time she is having new relationship energy with the other guy and won't be capable of thinking straight or treating you fairly where this person is involved. Most likely you will be accused of being overly jealous or controlling. Or accused of not trusting the other person to make decisions and not hurt you while that's exactly what they are already doing. Please. It's all about appropriate boundaries. People in good and healthy relationships don't put themselves in situations that require the spouse to interact. And if you have to dictate appropriate boundaries to someone, then the relationship is already fundamentally broken. You can't force someone to set appropriate boundaries. They are responsible for their own behavior. You could just straight up get a lawyer, divorce her, get an actual loving wife instead of dancing in this circus with her, you know? And it's not like it'll make a difference anyway. She'll get someone new to have an adultery with sooner or later if she wants to. Cutting contact won't change her as a person. I understand what you're asking. In my case I called my husband out on behavior with his co-worker that bothered me / felt threatening to our relationship. He denied anything was inappropriate but appeared to relent because I was so upset. Later I found out he just stopped mentioning her but was instead spending more time with her. He basically went underground with the friendship, then was totally shocked, he was, when he ended up in love with her and ruining his, and my, life. We reconciled but it's still hard even after several years, and he remains tortured by what he did. What I wish I had done at the time was really put my foot down, go to marriage counseling, and talked it all out somehow. I also should have contacted the co-worker at the time and inserted myself into the group chat where she constantly talked about her personal problems, love and sex life, and done some other things in terms of expectations regarding my husband. The problem was, I was out of town for a few months for work. That's when the affair happened, a couple months in. My job back then was offshore, and required a lot of travel. He never visited me because he was also busy with work. We both enjoyed our jobs immensely and so I respected that. Looking back now I should have insisted he come visit or issued some kind of ultimatum. I had wanted to do all these things back then, but was stopped by the same "you can't tell him who to be friends with" BS that a lot of people on this site preach. My problem wasn't who he could be friends with. It was about priorities and boundaries between friends and our relationship. I hope you are doing well. One thing I'd like to say is don't blame yourself for not doing something. He is an adult who understands the boundaries of a relationship and he chose to break those boundaries one step at a time. Do not blame yourself for any of that. Thanks. I know it's not my fault. And he takes full responsibility for everything he's done. I just wish I could turn back time all the same, and make some different moves. Or else gone back further and never made a lifetime commitment to him in the first place. I could save myself a lot of grief. I wouldn't tell her to do shit, no ultimatums or controlling her. I would just be mentally checked out and leave her. Remember, you're looking for a certain ideal of a woman to spend the rest of your life with. If it turns out she doesn't represent that ideal, you cut your losses and move on. You can never change shitty behavior or a toxic mindset. Son doesn't want to leave grandparents' house. Hey all. I've been struggling post-separation but am doing a lot better. We're 2 months out. My son has been staying with his grandparents a lot. They've been helping tremendously as I take control of my life again. He is 2 years old. So his mother was abusive to him, screamed in his face at the top of her lungs, and since we separated she has been incredibly detached from him during visitation and is very hot/cold, plays on her phone most of the time. Because of the past abuse she only has supervised visitation, and she agreed to do it in our family home because that is most comfortable. Well, I believe the reason my son fights so hard against leaving his grandparents is because he associates getting ready with going to see mommy. He throws full-blown tantrums and will fight for 20+ minutes before we can get him to get in the car. Sometimes he refuses to even put shoes on. Now I can't be certain that's the reason, but I suspect that is why. He is very close and loving with me and is always excited to see me. I see him every day, but he just refuses to leave their house. When he is with her it's like he doesn't pay much attention to her. I don't know if it's just a normal phase for a 2-year-old or if he's really fighting against seeing his mother because he always thinks I'm taking him to her. I really don't want him to fear leaving his grandparents' house or associate my house with her. I'm not sure what to do. He does very well with me alone but he really hates being around his mom and he thinks every time we try to leave his grandparents that she's going to be there. Do you all think this is a normal phase or is this something to really be worried about? What can I do to make him more comfortable leaving his grandparents' house? Try taking him on small trips to some place that he can feel safe. It doesn't have to be anything special, just some place where the two of you and even the grandparents can have some fun together. It won't be easy at first, but eventually he will begin to adjust to it and begin to associate that it's okay to venture outside the grandparents' house. I would caution you not to dismiss this as just the terrible twos. Right now he's so traumatized by his mother at such an early age that he needs positive reinforcement that gives him something to grasp onto to counter her presence in his life. Since she doesn't appear to have much interest in being a mother figure to him, why does she still want visitation with him? It may be a long shot, but have you discussed the possibility of her relinquishing her parental rights at least for the time being? Maybe if you present it as a way for her to devote all her energies in her new relationship with those two people, maybe she might go for it. I will try to ease him out of it with positive reinforcement. I like that. She has given me full custody with 3 days supervised visitation, so basically I have full rights to him. She always makes excuses to miss days/show up late/leave early, so I wouldn't be surprised if she stops showing up eventually. But, she doesn't want to be seen as a bad mother, so she wouldn't completely give up her visitation. I believe she wants to do the bare minimum to keep up the appearance of co-parenting. Can you do supervised visitation at another location? Help make your home a safe place for him. A little reluctance can be normal. My ex and I never had any issues related to our boys and they would still fuss about leaving whichever place they were at. What does he do once he's at your place? Could be normal wanting to keep doing what he's doing fits, but even if that's all it is, I'd want to ensure he felt safe and comfortable at home. Does he ever have fits about going to the grandparents? Doesn't say a lot on its own because he might even view that as a little vacation fun trip versus the routine at home, but still worth thinking about. He doesn't throw fits when going to grandparents. When he's home with just me he does great and has a lot of fun with me. When he's here to see her on her days, he usually just plays by himself because she always just sits around and plays on her phone. No, he doesn't have fits about going to his grandparents. I believe that's because he knows she won't be there. I will try to make my home more positive and exciting for him. Hopefully this will help counteract the days where she's up here laying on the couch during visitation. How I've been coping. The love of my life is dead progress. Hey all. I just want to share something that has helped me cope and it may help you as well. My wife, the woman I loved more than anything for 10 years, left me for 2 mutual friends whom she had also been having an emotional affair with. So, as you all know, the pain, anger, and sadness are indescribable. But here's something that has helped me a lot. When I look at her recent photos, she looks pure evil. I don't know how else to put it, she just has a negative aura now. But when I look at our older pictures, I see a woman who was kind, loving, and so selfless. I see the new her, and I see the old her. When I thought about them being together, I used to get so jealous and angry, because I was imagining the old her being with them. But, that person no longer exists. That person has died and is replaced by someone completely malevolent who is only the same in physical appearance, except the weight gain lamau. So now when those mental images pop into my head, I remind myself that they have the new her. The shitty her. I want nothing to do with that woman, they can have her. I enjoyed years of love and happiness with the woman she once was, but she is now gone. I am happy I got to live and love with her until she passed. I will always cherish those times, and this new monster will not destroy that. I will remember her for what she was in my heart. I've tried that. But my focus was always on the person I knew, loved and would have died for. Your change of focus on remembering the one you loved with respect versus comparing the person she is now is a completely different approach. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. It's been 5 years for me, and I miss her every day. But I've never said goodbye to her. Wish me luck. I have never heard someone use cognitive reframing in such a manner. Not applicable to my own situation, but I have a buddy who this may help. So thank you in advance for this. I've gone through these scenarios. Until I realized that the person I truly loved in the beginning, never really existed at all. It was a facade. Just a facade. The man I divorced, that's who he really was all along. It's a hard pill to swallow. Because I will never be able to trust my own judgment again. This genuinely helps, thanks for sharing. Not one but two, huh? I bet you can do better for the love of your life. The thing with seeing it as if they died, it doesn't leave you room to reevaluate the past to see if you missed the signs and red flags. In that way you may be leaving yourself vulnerable for missing them again. Nice friends BTW. I'm sorry op, but this is only a band-aid. Of course, you can't control intrusive thoughts. I was betrayed 40 years ago and I still get these thoughts. Stop digging up bones right now. North Carolina her cheating ass and start the healing process. Remember, love and hate are not opposites. When you love someone and they betray you, that love starts changing into hate. This is why you are feeling better with those images. Trust me, it won't last and will leave you right back where you started. I don't know how long ago D-Day was, but you need to get a lawyer and STD tested. You also need to get into therapy. One last thing, I would highly recommend you box up all your photos of her alone and with you and put them away. Leave them boxed up. I know a guy that did this and drew a skull and crossbones on the box. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. This girl is now a closed door. When one door closes, another opens up somewhere else. Find that open door. It may take you years, but trust me, it is there. What you need to realize is the malevolent one you see in her most recent photos is the person she has been all along. It's the view behind her mask, the real her. Unfortunately, those that cheat are often adept liars who are master manipulators. They are the type of people that will stick the knife in while giving you the warmest of hugs. Be aware of all of her traits and use them to avoid people with similar characteristics. This is so helpful and needed. The old was replaced by the new. The old him never would have betrayed and backstabbed me the way he did, but his new self is pure malice, pure malevolent power tripping with zero legal savoir-faire. Cool way to normalize a messy situation. Congratulations. Yeah, like the movie The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The invading plants capture a real person and replace them with a beyond meat plant-based pod person who wants to do you harm. Grieve the loss of your wife. I sorry man, it sucks, but she's gone and you have to live your life now the best you can. I can, unfortunately, relate to this. It's part of why I felt so shitty for leaving my ex. She cheated early, we tried to reconcile for a year, but no matter how much she loved me I couldn't get past what happened. I see her as two people, the one who loved me and I loved back, and still do TBH, and then the selfish jerk who slept around during our relationship. No matter how hard I try, it's still tough not to see the person I left as the person I love instead of the terrible one who lied and cheated. Like you said, it's also hard because you imagine the woman with those other people as the good side that you see. But, you're right, that person died. In my case, that person didn't exist yet, and then died later on. But it's good to know that others framed things this way too. OFC, the real truth is that our exes are both of those people, and that idealizing either the good or the bad version is incomplete. But separating the two can definitely help in moving forward, and I hope you're able to keep doing that. I think a more realistic and nuanced way to look at it is yes, she is both of those people, however she is whichever person she chooses to be. That person I loved is no longer alive because she killed her and decided to live a different life as a different person. In essence, it brings me the same comfort. So did she ever mention or seem interested in an additional male threesome before? Assuming that's the arrangement she's in now. Yes, she had, but no, actually she's in a FFM relationship. She's been a bad person all along. Needing some affirmation, gaslighting aftermath. I know this is dumb, but my stbxw has me doubting my own common sense. She got with two of our mutual friends only a month after we separated, and she acts like there's nothing wrong with that. Granted, I never liked those friends and I could tell they didn't like me much either, despite trying to get me to hang out with them a lot. Even though I didn't like them much, they were a big part of my life, and she and they both betrayed me. But she's gaslighting me into thinking there's nothing wrong with what she's doing. She's said things like, I didn't intend for this, the dynamic just changed and I'm a grown woman and am attracted to him, of course I'm going to him and I can't live my life to protect your feelings anymore. She said this after kissing them in front of me, which was evil AF, like him the crazy one for being devastated by her being with our friends. She also insists I respect their relationship. She gaslighted me so hard and I'm still trying to overcome it. I'm in absolutely minimal contact with her now, but I went no contact too late. She already messed me up psychologically. I need affirmation that I'm not crazy for being angry and devastated by this. Is it ever okay to hook up with mutual friends so soon after separation? Why can't you go North Carolina? Yeah, what she's doing is messed up, but you don't have to be around to see it. Block, block, block. Because we have a kid together. I'm minimal contact now though, nothing except kid-related matters. Monkey branching is textbook BPD. Find new supply by whatever means necessary. She was probably already flirting with them and setting it up sometime before you split. This is unlikely to have been a recent development. Triangulation is also textbook, getting other people involved in shit that should be between you and her. Affirmation? No, in my opinion it's never okay to hook up with mutual friends a month after separation. Especially not to rub it in your face. That's something that shitty, trashy people do. I dare say that most sane, kind people would feel similarly. You're not wrong for being upset by this. Consider talking to a therapist about your feelings. Good luck. Sometimes, when I'd escape an abusive relationship, I might end up in a relationship with those who were escaping an abusive friendship. It was a terrible reason to get into something long-term. We were just trauma bonding. And the way things went so fast, probably should have been a red flag for the both of us. It can work. But it's like spinning a roulette wheel, with similar odds. But this doesn't look like the same thing. Without knowing much about what you two had, there's a lot of guilt tripping here. And what looks like an intentional attempt to hurt you. So yeah, she's saying things that could be true, sure. But lots of gaslighters do that. It's why that poison works in the first place. Amputate them all as much as possible. Any friend who'd take part in this, wasn't a friend. They just liked some of the perks that come with friendship, and made no effort to hold up their end, the second they saw another offer. You're not crazy. What she's doing is purely hateful and gross. See her for what she is and go full North Carolina ASAP and try to never look back. Having BPD isn't an excuse to be a cheater or a whore. That's just her poor character. It unfortunately reinforces the stereotype that all people with BPD cheat, etc., which sucks. Should I message her? I need advice. I know this is kind of a dumb question, but I'm really wanting this relationship to work out, so I want advice. I've been out of the game a long time, so I'm kinda clueless lol. Last night I started talking to an old ex and we really hit it off. We really connected and our conversation was great. We stayed up late chatting. I ended the chat by asking if she wanted to hang out soon. She agreed and said she'd let me know if she's available to hang out tomorrow. Well, it's late in the day now and she hasn't reached out and we're supposed to hang out tomorrow. I'm wondering if I should message her about it or if that would make me sound needy. Should I wait for her or reach out again? She is someone you already know intimately. Shoot her that text. Pronto. It worked, date is planned and all is going great. Butterflies are the best feeling in the world. All the best to the two of you, thumbs up. I don't know, should you? Should I ask to define relationship before sex? I'm 26 meters, talking to a girl, 26F, and we've gone on 2 dates, lots of cuddling etc. I'm new to the dating game, so I'm always double guessing myself on how things progress. She's made it clear she's down for sex, but we haven't yet. I like her a lot and love our time together, but I don't want a relationship with her because she has too many problems in her personal life. Red flags. I'd like to be FWB with her, but I'm happy with just friends too. We haven't discussed our relationship at all, it's just like we reconnected then immediately started talking all the time and hanging out, cuddling, kissing, etc. The problem is, next date sex will probably come up. I don't want her to have the wrong idea about our relationship because the last thing I want is for her to have sex then regret it, since I'm not going to commit to her. I feel like if I tried to define our relationship with her right now it would feel forced and awkward since it's so early on. Am I just overthinking this, or should I make it clear I'm not going to commit before sex happens? We've not discussed any kind of commitment, which makes me think she's on the same page as me, but I don't want to accidentally hurt her if she has the wrong idea about our relationship. What's the dumbest excuse your AP gave? Meta. After reading chumplady.com's stupid shit cheaters say section, I got a good kick out of it and it helps make some light out of the darkness that comes with infidelity. So I'm wondering, what's the dumbest thing your AP said about the cheating? I'll start. Mine said, once I had already found out about the cheating post-separation. What, do you think I moved in with him with the intention of ing him? The dynamic just changed one night. She said she was talking to him about finding out what being divorced was like. This was after I told her that I saw she was texting him 900 times a month back in October, which was 3 months before his wife threw him out. Does she know what being divorced is like now? Yes, she does. Good. I'm glad you could help her understand it better. Peace to you. Mine tried to make excuses, but I can't tell you what she was saying because I was listening to music as I packed her stuff and took it to the front door. She was yammering about something to me, but I can't tell you what it was. Cheating is a deal breaker for me, and I make zero excuses for it. It didn't mean anything. If it didn't, they wouldn't do it. SMH. It always means something, even if that's just a selfish desire to get off. It's usually the thrill of doing it behind your back. It was never more than friendship. Yeah, okay, friendship made him lie to me for almost a year about hanging out with my supposed best friend behind my back, right? Found out differently tonight, but I knew. Oof, fresh wounds. I hope you can muster doing something really nice for yourself this week. You deserve it. Edit. Oh hey, it's you. Sorry for the double support message. I should really start paying more attention to usernames. I do not mind double support at all. Smile, I appreciate it. I have very few people in my life right now due to this, and any kind words someone can offer help me. So thank you. Smile. I feel ya. I lost my house and my work, had a severe spine injury 2 weeks after D-Day, and my health, though it is much better now, and all my money from the surgery and recovery, so I had to move back with my parents a good distance from all my networks. Then COVID hit. I have like 3 friends in town, but I rarely see them. This sub has really helped me keep my head straight. I'm so sorry to hear that. Frown, I hope things get better for you. Everyone on here has been so supportive. But also real, you know? This is the first time I've ever been cheated on to my knowledge. But everyone knows the feelings each other is going through. It's such an ugly, almost nauseous feeling inside. I'm about to post my recovery story on a Pride Blast post I made, hoping to spark inspiration to others that may still be in that stage of I'm not sure how I'll make it through this. I'm in a very good place with all those issues, but it took a lot of work. Ooh, my favorite is that's not what happened, but believe what you want, or I never meant to hurt you. Duck off. Cheaters gonna gaslight. I didn't mean to fall for someone else. Deep down, I don't want to leave our family, but I want to continue this relationship to see where it takes me. I think I love her, but I never meant to hurt you or our family, it just happened. Definition of a cake eater. 1 year later, we are divorced and he now says, I am miserable, I made a mistake, and it wasn't worth it. I deserve to never be happy. I don't deserve you or our family. You should find our daughter a different father. SMH, can I just say smallest violin ever? LMFAO, at least he became self-aware, even if it's obviously just trying to gain sympathy. Not really, this is passive-aggressive behavior. He's trying to make her feel sad for him. That's plain manipulation. Do you think he's trying to make meow now? He won't talk to his parents, trapped himself with AP. I think he's trying to get it all, and still pretend to be the good guy. Don't fall for that. I can't go back to him. He needs to work on him. I know his parents wish I would give him another chance, but it is what it is. He hasn't done anything to show he is remorseful though, so well. His loss. Yeah, it's blatant manipulation and hoping that she'll come and rescue him from the dung pile he buried himself in, and that she won't mind his stink. In an argument via email, I told my ex thank you for explaining yet again how I was your fallback option. He said you weren't my fallback option. Do people leave their jobs before they find a new one? No. If things had worked out with her, then I would pursue a relationship with her, otherwise I would try to work things out with you. My other favorite line after I told him I was blocking him everywhere and he begged me not to, you're not the only one suffering here. You feel the pain of betrayal, but I feel the pain of hurting someone I didn't want to lose. Why are you being cruel and punishing me like this? You blocking me is invalidating my suffering. The appropriate thing to say would have been I ducked up, I'm so incredibly sorry, and you didn't deserve that on repeat. Instead I get this bullshit. Good riddance. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.